I started watching the channel when you started Tactics, I think. Maybe a bit before. My friend, you joined at a good time. When Tactics took over and Judgment was done. So when Judgment was done, that's when I decided to do all the games in canonical order. That's when Tactics began. And when Tactics began, that's when everything... That's when Gears... So, okay. So when I did Gear Talks, I'm not trying to get into my own history now. You know, I'm not trying to do that. But when Gears of War first became prevalent on the channel, so before Gears, those we call the Dark Ages. That was me and Sean during... I don't even know what era. So there's different eras on the channel. The channel's in July will hit 7 years old. So what do I have for eras? Okay. Again, I'm not trying to get off topic again. I'm just bouncing around everywhere because I'm having a good time talking. We have... let me think of a good way to put it. The eras on the channel. What's a good way to put it? Let's say... Because the Sean era went for... Well, I was already doing Gear Talks. Like, the Sean era is, like, overlapping with a lot of things. So I can't call it the Sean era in the beginning. Because Sean goes, like, halfway through the whole channel. Like, there's a chunk. Like, okay, so on the small screen, like, here's the Sean era. Here's the entire history. He takes up half of all of it. Okay? That's the Sean era. So I can't use the Sean era. Let's do the... What would be the era before the Gear Talks began? So that would be... Let's see. What would I call that? I would call that the... Because Gear Talks were when I first started doing talks on the camera. Let's call it the let's call it the dark era. Because that was... We'll call it dark because it refer to like the camera not having like video on it. So without this. We'll call it the dark era. Because I hadn't started putting my face on camera until, again, August of 2018. So there was a good year's worth of time in there, a year and a half, where this wasn't on camera at all, period. That's only like a year, though. Like, that's kind of low for an era. Let's see. So, yeah, October of 2018. Okay. So that's about, like, a year and some change. But do I really want to call that... So, okay. Let's say the era up to Judgment. So from 2017 all the way to 2020. So those 3 years, what would that era be? So I was on the camera now and then. So I was on the camera, you know, like, hey, here I am doing a Gear Talk. But what would, up to 2017 to 2020, just Gear Talks and me and Sean doing games, what is that era called? Wait a minute. When I did Judgment, that's October. Sean had left by then. In 2020. For the first time. You know what? Actually, yeah. Let's call the beginning era, before Judgment began, the Sean era. That's the Sean era. That's when me and Sean were just busting out everything. You know, we were really just in our groove. We were having a good time. You know, that's the Sean era, where we got a lot of our Sean videos going. The Silver Age? That's the Silver Age. You know what? That's the, we'll call it the Bronze Age for that one. We'll get into the Silver Age in a moment. Well, no. Yeah, the Silver Age works for that one. The Bronze Age was before. The Bronze Age was back when I did Antipop Games. That was the channel I was a part of before I created my own. Antipop Games, that was the Bronze Age. So there's the Bronze Age with Antipop. Then there's the Silver Age, which is the Sean Age. I gotta write this down somewhere. So those are the ages right there, okay? Then, when Judgment took off, okay, so the best way to put it for this one, there was a time after, I don't bring this up a lot, not because I'm ashamed of it, not because of the person. I don't bring it up a lot because it's a part of my life that's done and finished, and I just don't talk about it because there's no reason to bring it up. I'm not looking for sob stories. I'm not looking for anything. But if I'm going to go through the history of the channel, I do need to mention it. After the abusive relationship that I was a part of and I got out of, you know, again, yay, survivor, you know, advocate for, you know, domestic abuse, horrible thing, you know, against all that, blah, 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 blah. Again, we're not here to talk about that. After I got out of that, there was a good few months where I didn't post or do anything. And I just did that because it was like, this isn't that was when I was still doing videos, I believe, but I took a break from Gear Talks. Because again, I was kind of just recovering at that point from everything that had happened. If I go back to the very end, so there was, let's see where it was. So there was a time, 2019 E3, the multiplayer community. So I believe I had already pumped out the Carmine discussion series. Okay, I have 12 videos based on the Carmines. The Carmine family series. So January 24, 2019. Why did you not come up? You have Gear Talk on you. Huh, that's weird. But anyway, yeah, there was a time after the last Carmine video came out, which came out in May 7th. So after May 7th was the Carmine family life insurance. And if I just open up Gears again, just gear. Just the word gear. There's 289 of those. So there's a lot more than I originally anticipated. But if I just go to the very end of Gear, because Gear Talk, that's probably why it didn't come up in the discussion series. If I go to the very, very end of it all, not even the very end. Wow, that's a lot of gears I let out. So it was after the All Fathers video. After the All Fathers Gears discussion I released, that was May 21st of 2020. I didn't release another video until October of that year with the leader of the Swarm at the time, the speaker. So that was the age there. In between that time, what I was trying to get at. So there's the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, which is the Sean Age, and then the Golden Age. Now, why I call it the Golden Age, that one is because in between that break for the Carmines and that speaker video, and I started releasing other material, in between that was a huge spike in viewership and subscribers for a lot of things Gears related. It was coming through the woodworks. To this day, it is still the biggest spike I have ever seen on this channel. And that was a lot of people who came through. A lot of people knew about what was going on. That was just the algorithm just blessed me while I took a break from doing Gear Talks and was just releasing Let's Plays. It was a big, big, big increase. It was. So that happened. So that's the Golden Age, because that was the biggest spike I ever had. That was the oh my goodness age. So you have the Bronze, Silver, and the Gold Age. So the Bronze Age was everything with Antipop games. The Silver Age was everything up until Gears of War Judgment, the first Let's Play. Then you have the Golden Age, which was the Gears of War Judgment Let's Play, all the way to, I would say, I don't know, are we still in the Golden Age? Did we have a tiny silver? Well, I think we're still in the Golden Age right now. We're in the Golden Age. I think so. What else would have really... You know what? There's the Golden Age. What would... Is there even a new age right now, or are we still in gold? I think we're still in gold right now. The only real stuff that's changed is like streaming. I stream now. I think that's still the Golden Age, though. I don't see a reason it would be different. Like, there's been no major substantial changes, really, I don't believe. Are we still in gold? I think we're in Gold Age. Because Bronze Age would have been for about maybe a year or 2 years. So that was Bronze Age. Silver Age lasted for about 3. The Embry Star Age. The Onyx Age. The Embry Onyx Age, we can call it. I don't know. Have we... You know what? I don't think the Gold Age is going to change until the Gears of War canonical series ends. I think we're going to be in gold until Gears of War is finished. I don't think the Gold Age is going to end for a little bit still. I think the Gold Age is going to be long. The Gold Age is going to be really long. Because again, the Silver Age is Sean. That's his age. Like, it's how it was formed. The Silver Age is formed on the backs of me and Sean. The Bronze Age is formed on the age of when I first ever got online and started making videos and doing things. In fact, I mean, the connection's bad. I don't even know if I could do it. You want a little treat? You want to watch the original stuff? You want to watch what got me into editing and got me into the Gears of War? Not Gears of War. Well, I was already into the Gears of War stuff. I didn't get into the Gears of War scene for a while. Do you? Well, if you want, I can put on what got me to this point, what got me into making my own channel. I can open up the channel. I can open up Antipop Games and we can play some videos. It feels weird doing it. It feels really weird. But I can do it. So welcome to my abode. Welcome to the former place. I have the password or something somewhere, and if not, I can always talk to Jeremiah. But, I mean, this was it. This was my baby. This was the original one. Let's get the Big Daddy video going. And as you can see, like, 9 years ago. The oldest is 10 years, 10 years, 10 years, 9, 9, 9. We can play some of the old broadcasts. I have the old ones saved on my phone, too. Not my phone. I have it saved on my computer. But let's just do. We'll save the Antipop game ones for later. These were on the radio. These were the radio show with a horrible. It was really bad. Like whatever was feeding into the computer was way too hot, and everything sounds like garbage. But I don't mind playing them. I just can't play the music in between because obviously that's copyright. But I believe I can play everything that's not involved. These are all cut out. Follow the buzzards. Oh my goodness. Bray Wyatt, my dude. Bray Wyatt. R.I.P. Big Daddies, where are you? Yeah, Big Daddies are fucking awesome.
I am Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs.
So I might be pausing in and out just because this is still YouTube and I don't need copyrights on here. But, yeah, amazing speech from Andrew Ryan. Amazing, amazing speech.
No, says the man in Moscow. It belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something.
Is it loud enough for everyone?
I chose the impossible. I chose rapture. A city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by any morality.
So, like I said, I'm going to pause it now and then. I don't need copyrights on here, especially since there's other stuff going on.
Be constrained by the small.
A little bit better?
And with the sweat of your brow, rapture can become your city as well.
Yeah, this was I really did. Yep, and here's where it begins. Oh, here we go.
The Big Daddy, the mascot of BioShock and the nightmare of every splicer in Rapture. These scuba diving tanks are the most recognized mini-bosses in all of video games.
Better, that's good.
Yes, a mini-boss, because admit it, even you had to prepare for the showdown against one of these deep-sea divers, and trust me, if you didn't, you weren't walking away alive. The Big Daddies come from the BioShock franchise, developed by Irrational Games and published by 2K,
Yep.
though later having Irrational handing over the IP to 2K because of Irrational closing down. The BioShock franchise has had major success and has also had a total of 3 games come out, with another 2 games that have been available as downloadable content. These 2 being Minerva's Den for BioShock 2 and Burial at Sea for BioShock Infinite.
So not too bad so far, right? Not too bad. Like, informative. It's okay. Oh, it gets better.
The story of these games are pretty simple to follow. Everyone has gone fucking crazy. Why, you ask? Drugs! Yes, our good old buddy Adam, the super drug of Rapture, is quite the troublemaker now, isn't he? Well, in the first 2 games, after that, people were just crazy on their own. So now you're wondering,
Yep.
what do Big Daddies have to do with all of this? Well, I'll tell you. They were made to follow around little girls that have nothing better to do than to find some
Boy,
dead
actually, you
bodies
get the
and
camera
extract
on
their
me
blood,
at a
later
point.
drinking
Yeah,
it
oh,
out of
here
a
we go.
bottle in the back of a needle. Sounds fucked up, right?
Look at that hairstyle right there. That's beauty. That's beauty right there, my man. That right there. That's what makes the girls just swoon. That's the moistness you can see coming off the ladies. And that's not even the full form of this mullet. I'll show you that full form later.
Right?
But yeah.
Well, it gets better. These little girls have slugs inside their bodies that give off Adam.
I find it hard
And
just
that
to look
blood
at
they're
half the
drinking
time.
is pretty much an Adam cocktail, since the blood mostly comes from splicers, who are too hopped up on Adam to remember their names. Aren't drugs fun? Plus, when a little sister needs to move around Rapture, they normally crawl around in the vents. Oh, god damn it. Will you quit crawling around here? Alright, I'm getting too far ahead of myself, so why don't we start from the beginning and talk about the origin of the Big Daddies. Big Daddies were...
I would have definitely watched this video back in the day. My dude, at the time, I was very proud of it. I was. Because I had first started making videos, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, this isn't too bad. You know, like, first time editing, like, once a month it would take me to get these out. Nowadays, I could pop this out in, like, especially what I've been doing on here, I could pop this out in, like, 2 or 3 days, and that's me taking breaks. And if I just sat down and just committed myself 6 minutes, I'd have it done in a day. Back then, it took me a month.
Originally made to be the protectors of the
Was
little
not
sisters.
that skilled.
These are the girls that are drinking
Still not
blood
that skilled,
like
but at least I know how to
FYI.
use the stuff.
Originally, Big Daddies were sent out to repair Rapture since it was underwater and had a fondness to leak. When the Little Sister project was underway, many of the people in charge found it hard for them to gather Adam, since they were small and could easily be robbed. So looking at the men dressed in giant scuba suits and back to the girls, there was an idea. Why not have them protect the Little Sisters? Brilliant! So the Big Daddy
I remember that.
Protector program was also set in place. With the Little Sisters slowly gaining numbers, there was a demand for more protectors. Many of the candidates that became protectors were normally found in prisons or political enemies to Andrew Ryan, the man in charge of Rapture.
Which is weird if you think about it, because it's just like the dude's literally just taking prisoners of war. Not even war, but just prisoners. And he's like, just chuck them in the suits. Whatever. Like, he really did not want his utopia coming down from the outside. He was really just dead set, which was the point of his character.
Once taken, these candidates would go under the fun and painless process of having their voice boxes destroyed, being injected with Adam and pheromones, and then having their skin grafted into the suit. And if you act right now, we can take away your free will and force you to follow around a little sister.
Look at that Sprite can right there. Look at that Sprite can. Look at that. That's some good Sprite right there. That's some Sprite. That's some good Sprite. God, this is my friend Warren. They got a can of beans right there. This is memories, man. This is the college dorm.
For the rest of your life. Call now. After the protectors were made, a new way to bond a protector to a little sister was created. This was known as the protection bond. That would cause a protector to attack anything that harmed or came close to a little sister. From this action, they were given the nicknames the Big Daddies because of their father-like instincts toward the little sisters. Later, another bond known as the pair bond was created, linking a single Big Daddy and little sister. This, however, was a shitty idea because if a Big Daddy wandered from a little sister, boom, he's in a coma. So that idea...
Is that Sprite a product placement? Yes, it was. Yes, yes. Sprite was heavily backing me back in the day. Back in the day, I had Sprite right around my my pinky finger. Whatever I said go was Sprite. I would tell them anything, they would listen. You have things like Sprite Limonade. That was me. I brought it back. It was all because I said, hey, my last request while I'm still under this deal, bring Limonade back. And they did it. That was all me. I did it.
It didn't last long. Since there were so many Big Daddies manufactured, there were different variations made. The one most known by many is the Bouncer, carrying a giant drill into combat, and one of the first made because the suits were already used for repairing and expanding Rapture. Then we have the real Big Daddies, the Alphas. These were some of the first
God, I love the Alpha series. I love Delta. This series, here's the thing. If this would have come out first and then you had Big Daddies, this is iconic. When I think of Big Daddies, I don't think of the Bouncer. I do. It's obviously the face of it all. I think of Delta series. I think of Delta with the Alpha series. It's so good.
But they are able to use plasmids. Plasmids being a serum that you inject and then it starts to rewrite your DNA. You can then have the ability to do many different things like summon fire, bees, or my favorite, lightning.
The bees!
And trust me, using this stuff isn't...
I did not remember putting that in there. Oh, that was fun. Can we see that again? Can I get one more?
Bees, or my favorite, lightning. And
Man, what an
trust me,
edgelord I
using this
was.
Stuff isn't a walk in the park either.
Oh yeah, the first time. That's right. The first time. First injection, baby. Wow, I just gotta talk during this one. Don't need copyright here. Just gonna talk so I don't get that copyright. Just gonna talk over it. That's right. No copyright here. Definitely didn't put in licensed music. Nope, not at all. This is a great song from Far Cry 3, but nope, I didn't put it in.
That's all you need to know about the Big Daddies.
I'm going to have to play BioShock. I've watched a few lore videos a lot. I've watched a few lore videos. The lore is great. Bioshock's
Though they
lore
have
is
the
amazing.
personality of a potato, the bond that they hold with the little sisters
Per-
is clear and a sign of
personality
their
of a
newly
potato.
implanted desire to fight off anything that comes close, like a real father. Though that's the case, they are kind of like suffering giants, having no free will but to follow these girls until one of their deaths. It's not the ideal ending to this story. Though this is the fate for one of these... Oh, god damn it. Will you just shut up?
Yeah, this is a fun one. Yeah, put a lot of work into that one, didn't I?
No. 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 Hey, thanks for watching another episode of Fuck.
Oh yeah, that was younger me. That was
Also,
me
check
from
us
the
out on
past.
Twitter and on Facebook, and check out these awesome videos too.
The PNG Big Daddy. Yeah, that was the render of a T-pose and Big Daddy right there. That was life. So yeah, message to kids out there: don't do drugs. I wasn't doing drugs either, just in the game, drugs. Man, I don't know how I feel about that. That is blast from the goddamn past. Like, I made 4 of these. Like, there were 4 I made. That was one of them. The Bayonetta is the most seen one. It's not that I put too much work into the Bayonetta one. I did put work into it, but not as much as you think. It has a lot of copyright in it, though. Official music video. I'll watch that later. But yeah, that was me. That was how I started. That was the Bronze Age. The Bronze Age was like, it had some time to it, but the content was very slim in the Bronze Age. Drugs are bad, okay? They are very bad. But like, this was it. Like, community-wise, like, there was no one here. Playlist, there was barely anything here. Videos, like, there was some. Like, here's what. You can take a listen. This is just how bad it is when you listen to it. Let me put on Coltrane Brain. See, I was talking about, back then even, I was talking about Gears of War. Gears of War is mentioned there. Yeah. I can't play the very beginning, though. Because it's playing the song.
I mean, you certainly have a face for radio.
Yeah, you hear that?
That's so wild that the radio station is like filled right up, like terrestrial radio. People are just, lining up, and like television, the television studio can't get enough people.
Yeah, it's like I've heard it's like
Yeah.
because that's what because Gears of War is known for bringing new stuff. Like the Cover Fire, I think, was one of the newer ones.
Yeah.
It was the first game, apparently. I didn't know this. I don't remember if it was second or third that introduced the horde mode kind of thing in gaming.
Yeah.
It was the second game,
I did
me.
not know
It was
that,
the second
and that kinda
game.
blew my mind because it was like, oh my
You've
God.
gotten a lot of research since back in those days. You know what you're talking about nowadays.
Conventions that we
And here's the thing, I was a horrible person with this. I feel bad to this day about it. I would take so many other content creators or like people who would put up like the cutscenes for games, and I would just slap them onto my stuff. I would never record my own stuff because I didn't have the stuff to do it. So I just rip stuff from other people's channels, put them on there, and make sure like you couldn't see like their channel info or anything. It was just, here's gameplay, doesn't matter where it came from.
But like Gears of War like invented that.
Yeah.
It's deserving of its initial
It's like the Simpsons of first-person shooters, kind of.
third-person shooter.
Third person. It's not the Simpsons. Some people, Simpsons giving it a lot of praise nowadays. Man, I don't even know what it would be. Probably like the Family Guy of it all. Probably it'd be the American Dad. Halo would be the Family Guy.
Yeah, my bad. I get shooters mixed up. You can tell I'm not a big shooter guy. It's like, man.
Also, people tell me I sound younger. Yay.
Halo, and that's like the only
So they're talking about that. I think we talked about.
person. I've made different decisions.
Ooh, hells yeah.
I play as I play. So I go through. And of
Yeah, I've
course,
talk about Mass Effect. What else did I talk about in
I want to
these?
see what different outcomes are.
Back then, man, when I was in charge of the station, the head of the entire department gave us free reign. As long as you ain't swearing or causing a problem, do whatever you want. So Jeremiah would go on. He was doing his radio show, and I joined in because I heard him doing it. I'm like, can I join? Like, can I like talk about some stuff now and then? And he said, yeah. And we just started Antipop Games, and it was just fun. It was great. It was awesome. I miss those days, man. They were great days. They were amazing. I don't talk to Jeremiah as much as I should either. Jeremiah's a great guy. Amazing dude. But this was what I did. This was the beginning. This was the Silver Age. Antipop Games was the Silver Age of my online time. Then you have that was the Bronze Age, the Silver Age, the Sean Age. And then, yeah, we're living in the Golden Age right now. This is gold. And when it ends, we'll figure out a name for it, but that's life. That's life at the moment.